attack by a writer looking to advance his career, talk with mostly irrelevant, bitter players who all have an agenda. This is Aaron Rodgers at his finest. Very dismissive. Been saying this. He's arrogant. He's aloof. He's condescending. He's dismissive. Don't take the player's word for it. Listen at him talk. If you're not Aaron Rodgers, you're not a Hall of Fame player, how dare you have an opinion about Aaron Rodgers? They need to stop this notion, and I'm tired. Skip, I didn't go to journalism school. I got into the media after I started playing football. But the way this thing worked, the greatest scandals in American history has been broken through anonymous sources. Watergate, the big tobacco companies and what they were doing to cigarettes was because of anonymous sources. Now, all of a sudden, if an anonymous source comes out, the reason why anonymous sources have to exist is because they fear retribution. They know what's going to happen. Coach speaks out against Aaron Rodgers that's on that team. Is he going to be on that team once it puts his name behind it? Absolutely not. A lot
of sources were not anonymous in that article.
And that's his thing. Oh, they're
irrelevant
and bitter. So because I'm irrelevant, because I'm bitter, does that make anything that I say less true? Remember, Skip, there are 3 types of people that will normally tell you the truth. That was my grandmother told me. She said drunks, angry people, and kids will normally tell you the truth. See, Aaron wants to be dismissive. Oh, they're angry. Are they lying? Skip, there's something, and we didn't get a chance to read it. He said he called Mark Murphy and asked, Mark, who did you talk? Did you talk to anybody? Skip, how would the reporter know that Mark Murphy and Aaron Rodgers had a conversation? Somebody told it.
No, that's anonymous.
Either Mark Murphy told it or he told some. How would the reporter know that Mark Murphy picked up the phone call and called Aaron Rodgers? We've hired our guy. Don't you be the problem. How would they know they had a conversation?
Right, and also quoted Mark Murphy through an anonymous source as saying that he was tired of all the quote-unquote diva stuff. The diva stuff.
And see, he get on this thing, Aaron, I've been one of your biggest supporters.
You have. You might have been number one.
You're great. The greatest thrower of the football I've seen. He's transcendent. As good as there ever been in the NFL. Skipping for the longest time, I said he was better than Tom Brady. But I also said, offer some of the harshest critiques by looking at him and talking to people very close to him and that played with him. So I see what he's trying to do. Nah, bruh. All they got to do is listen to you talk. All you have to do is listen to a guy talk. Don't let anybody else form an opinion about him. Listen at him talk, how he talks about others. If you're not Aaron Rodgers, if you're not one of these Tom Brady's or one of these all-time great players, you can't have no opinion about me. And if you do say something bad about me, oh, you're bitter. And plus, you're irrelevant. You're trying to make a name for yourself. Nah, bro. I hope he ain't talking about me, because I was good before. As a matter of fact, I had a Hall of Fame career before you even got to the NFL. That's just throwing that out there, Aaron.
So you don't qualify as irrelevant and bitter?
Tired of media?
Well, I'm trying to figure out what I'm bitter about. Get the 3 Super Bowls and then I might be bitter.
That's a good point.
My turn. Aaron Rodgers can really spin the football, and he can spin the truth, because this is straight spin control. It's damage control.
Yes.
By a master of damage control, talking to his guys, Jason Wilde and Mark Tauscher, on his radio show. So this was his platform. And the writer of this quote-unquote smear attack, Tyler Dunn, tried to get a hold of Aaron Rodgers, and he would not, I assume, return his call. He just said he was unable to reach Aaron Rodgers to quote, because all these quotes could have been in the bombshell story.
Right.
It could have helped counterbalance the piercing truth that I thought was in this story.
Absolutely.
Because it was a bombshell. And let's take these comments here one by one. Smear attack, that's just wrong. It wasn't. It was really well done, and it was book length. And it felt like it could have been even longer, because he did his homework. He backed it up.
This ain't no 1 day, 2 day thing, Skip. He spent weeks, months.
Months. This might have been months in the
Yes.
I would agree with that. So let's talk about irrelevant, bitter players. I assume he's talking about our very own Greg Jennings, who sits here often on Fox Sports 1 and Undisputed. And Greg Jennings, I know very well. You know him very well. He is definitely not bitter. He doesn't qualify as bitter. And I don't think he's irrelevant, because he was a Pro Bowl receiver who caught the pass of passes. The greatest pass Aaron Rodgers ever threw was a really good catch by one Greg Jennings, and it iced the Super Bowl, the one and only Super Bowl that Aaron played in. Seems like it was 20 years ago, but it was about 10 years ago. And Greg was a really top-notch receiver. In fact, once on First Take, I made the case that I thought he was playing the best receiver in pro football. Wow. Does that mean he's become irrelevant? I think not. Does his opinion matter? Is Greg a shock jock type?
No.
Is he shoot from the lip? Is he knee-jerk?
No.
No, he's a really reasoned, rational thinker when he speaks.
And plus, isn't Greg able to offer first-hand account, first-hand knowledge?
First-hand.
So now we're going to disregard what Greg Jennings says, but we're going to take as gospel what Aaron Rodgers says. Because, see, I'm Aaron Rodgers, Skip. It is old Greg Jennings.
Yep.
I'm still playing. He's retired.
Okay. So are they trying to, like Jermichael Finley, are they trying to stir up old stuff, or is it actually new stuff? I mean, they're just talking about the way he was and is.
Correct.
Right? He still operates the same way, according to Greg Jennings and others. So then we get to the next level. What happens is the same tired media folks picking it up and talking about it, this just emphasizes their opinion about me already. No, it doesn't emphasize it, it validates it.
Right.
It just validates it. It was when we printed it out, it was 30 pages long of our type pages.
Yeah.
And it was just validation, validation, more validation. So I've said this for 10 years about Aaron Rodgers, and I don't dispute what you say. He is a great thrower. I think Marino was a little better thrower, but it's 1-2, 2-1 between those two.
Right.
But his transcendent football throwing ability is undercut by his poor leadership.
And that's the thing, Skip. Two things can be true. Aaron Rodgers can be transcendent, great. Greatest thrower of the football ever. And everything that people have said about him, his former teammates and some coaches have said about him, can also be true. He wants to make, no. Well, if I'm this good, I can't be that. Some of the greatest people are some of the worst people.
Yep.
Now, I'm not saying he's a worse person, but I don't think he's a great leader for the simple fact, again, he said irrelevant. It shows you how he views people. It shows how that if you're not on his level, he views you as irrelevant.
Okay. So Aaron concludes in this passage, if they're so worried about me as the leader of this football team moving forward, then why would they offer me a contract last year? Well, you're damned if you do or don't. You won once with him, and you'd made the playoffs 8 straight years
The same reason the Giants won't kick Eli out the door. How about that? Ask yourself, well, why would they offer me a contract extension? The same reason everybody around these desks are asking, why are the Giants trying to give Eli a contract extension?
All right. Quarterbacks are A, very difficult to find, and B, he's a really great quarterback in his day. The last 2 years, not so much.
Right.
But they're hoping to catch lightning in his bottle one more time, and is he capable of winning Sure, he's capable of winning a Super Bowl. Are you going to just turn away from Aaron Rodgers and let him walk? No, you're not going to let him walk. So he says, why would I choose to resign if Mike McCarthy is still the head coach, if I can't live with him? Well, the point is, and I hate to say this is a little bit LeBron-esque, but in this case, Mike McCarthy was a great scapegoat for Aaron Rodgers, and he knew it from the start that if they lose, a lot of fingers are going to get pointed at that head coach.
Right.
So if he can win in spite of the head coach, then he'll get all the glory.
Right.
But if they lose, he can always quietly tell the media, even say it on his radio show. He said it last year after a game, and he said, I regret that I said that publicly, but he threw him right under the bus after the game.
Didn't Jeff Saturday say that when he was the center there,
he did.
Mike McCarthy sent a play in and Aaron Rodgers rolled his eyes. There are other players, there are other coaches that said that. So everybody's a liar except Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
Aaron, bro, that's you. This is who you are. Immensely talented, immensely gifted, all-time transcendent great.
Yep.
But bruh, your people skills, your teammate skills, your leadership skills are to be called into question. I don't care. By me, Skip, I particularly care. I don't care if you think I'm irrelevant. I'm cool with that. I like being irrelevant. Get to go to L.A. and people don't even bother me because I'm so irrelevant.
That is not what you think.
I don't think that's true.
I'm good with it. But I've said this before, Skip. I did a piece on the Green Bay Packers receiver.
I know. You did.
And talking to them, and it wasn't so much what they said,
when
Skip.
you were at CBS.
Yes, when I was at CBS. It was what they wouldn't say. And it was how, when you mention his name, how everybody wanted to, like, take a little step back. Not literally, but you can feel it.
Interesting.
Said, And I said, look, he's their best player, but he might not be the most liked player. Oh, how do you know that? How can you? I just happened to spend 14 years in the locker
Happen
room.
to play. You just happen to be in the Hall of Fame, and you just happen to have good radar for that.
It just happened.
Okay.
That's funny how that works.
Okay.
They can use this technology on a submarine.
Yeah. So
Incoming.
Then Aaron stooped to the all-time spin control when he started talking about his
Ready.
relationship with Mike McCarthy.
Yep.
And he says, it grew year after year. The beauty in it was that there was a ton of trust. The trust was really at a high level. I love Mike McCarthy. He's a great man. He has a huge heart. Blah, 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 blah. Baloney, baloney, and more baloney.
The only thing growing is Aaron Rodgers' nose,
That is
Pinocchio.
correct.
Stop lying.
Yeah,
Nobody
I thought that was a little intense.
And then we were two alpha males. Skip, if you are butting heads, the reasons are inconsequential. I don't need to know why y'all butting heads. You're butting heads. But because we're two alphas, Skip, you got two alphas in the room. Really? Come on, Aaron. It's all, hey, bro, it's all good. You're going to go to the Hall of Fame. You're going to have an unbelievable season. But the teammate skills and these people skills, they're still there.
Okay. There's one thing I know about anonymous quotes. Some of them ring true, and some of them you say, that doesn't sound right.
Right.
But for Mark Murphy to be quoted as saying to Aaron Rodgers on the phone when he informed him of the new coaching hire, don't be the problem. It's such a specific quote, don't be the problem. Right. And Aaron flat out denied that those words were uttered. I find that hard to believe that those words weren't uttered.
But I'm just trying to figure out, how would that reporter know that Mark Murphy and Aaron Rodgers had a conversation and the conversation went like that? Of all the things, hey, Aaron, we're looking to have they didn't say, well, they asked Aaron's input. They said, this is who we're hiring without the input. And then he said, Aaron, don't you
be the problem. Really? Interesting.
I'm just trying to figure out how that reporter had all that intimate knowledge that if only two people knew.
Okay.
And remember, two people can keep a secret.
Yep.
But one of them need to be deceased in order for that secret not to come out.
Tyler Dunn, the writer of this piece, covered the Packers for years. And I'm just guessing here, like educated guessing, that he had a relationship with Mark Murphy, the CEO of that operation. So I'm just guessing that they talked all along and that he probably talked to him at length for this.
Winston Moss ain't back. Remember what he tweeted?
Do I?
About Aaron Rodgers?
Do I?
And